Hey, welcome back to the channel. Go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button, comment down below, man. Let me know where y'all from, who you a fan of. Let me know if you're a fan of Young Dolph, Big Scar, Gucci, man. And let's get right into it, man. So they actually found and caught Shundale. That's like the third suspect, man. This dude's been on the run all year. For an entire year, he was on the run. He might have been hiding out with Blac Youngsta. But they apparently caught him in Texas, man. And so now the thing is that see, they let him go the first time because they thought that he told on some two other dudes, Shundale and Cornelius, but they forgot to spin the block and capture him again because they didn't think that he was gonna take off and go so far. They actually gave him the reward money for telling on the two dudes because that's the one thing that they never told you. They never remember it was a $15,000 reward money for people who caught up Dolph's hitters, basically. And so the dude snitched Cornelius and Straight Drop to get the 15K. Then he left with the 15K and went on a run, a wild goose chase. And they tried to come out like a month later saying, oh, we made a mistake. We got to get this dude again. But nah, he already took off, already was long gone. And I remember I was telling y'all for the longest time that a lot of CMG folks be going to Dallas. A lot of people from Memphis to Dallas is like a whole connection. That's like the runaway city that they be going to. If somebody like caught a case or something in Memphis or they got to get out the town or run off on the plug, they be going straight to Texas and all that. So what y'all got to understand is that's where dude got caught up at in Dallas. And you got to remember, Raven and them live in Dallas, Sko and them. You got 901 Trigger Trey in Dallas and everything. So it's like, was 901 Trigger Trey helping Shundale Barnett? Was he hiding him out? Did he get a Motel 6 for him? Those are a lot of the questions that's being asked. And it's due to the fact that there's no way that Shundale, who's certified CMG street stepper, could go to Dallas and not be with no CMG people. And so that's the first thing he did is he reached out when he told on Straight Drop and they let him go. He reached right out to Yo Gotti, Moneybag, Yo Blac Youngsta and them. He said, "Get me out of here, man. Get me to the stash spot. Get me to the hideout, to the hideaway." And so that's what they did next. They secured a hideaway. They found a place for Shundale to go. But then eventually, time and time again, they did the stakeouts. They watched him. They watched him. He done popped out, went too many places. One time they caught him slipping and they found out exactly where he was. So now, fast forward, they pull up on him, right? And so when they pull up on him, they telling him, this is fresh recently, right now. They're like, hey, look, man, we just need you. They gave him an ultimatum. They said, you got two choices. You either gonna tell on CMG, Yo Gotti, Blac Youngsta, all of them, you tell us everything that happened, or that they're gonna pin everything that happened to Young Dolph on him because of the fact that they already got statements from Big Jook talking about Shundale was one of the guys that was right there. And then the fact that he was supposed to come back and turn himself in after they announced that it was a mistake that they let him go in the first place. And so they're going to get him on something for that too. But unless he just go ahead and throw Yo Gotti under the bus, if he tells on Blac Youngsta and them, they might let him walk. And so that's what they're in the agreements of doing right now. So they're in the discussions, they're in the interrogation room. They gave him an entire notebook and a whole new pack of pens and pencils, and he's gonna write exactly everything that happened. And then they're gonna ask him the tough questions, like exactly, how much did they get, how much, who was trying to pay him off, who was trying to put him onto this, who recruited them. And like they probably gonna get him on the Gunna. This dude, they're gonna ask him, is CMG doing this or doing that? And so that's another thing is that a lot of people think the Rico is coming just due to the fact that it's too much involvement in the streets that's coming back onto these people's business. Like you can't be mixing CMG and street stuff. You can't be doing all of that and expect to get away scot-free. At the end of the day, when people slip up and they get caught for stuff like this, like what happened to Dolph, they're going to end up tying it directly into CMG anyways. There's no way of hiding from it when y'all done put out all the flex and all the stuff. Like Blac Youngsta actually put out an Instagram video of him with Shundale, toting poles, pulling up into Groveridge in the Grove Heroes hood into Young Dolph's area, trying to find him, trying to interrogate, like they're trying to scare people off and stuff, toting poles and pulling up and waving in front of the camera. And then boom, when they paused it, it was Shundale right there in the back. And the thing is that it was only just a couple years ago, but he looked so much different because in the streets, you age 3 times faster. So that's really what happens because of all the stress, because of all the everything, the anger, all the environment, the stress that be putting on you, the headaches and all that. So that's one thing that they discovered. And another thing is that the fact that this is not his first time doing something. They already know that he tried to slide or spin the block before for CMG or for Blac Youngsta. And technically, that's Blac Youngsta's best friend. The only reason that he got into the mix of all of this is because Blac Youngsta told him to. They're best friends. So that means Blac Youngsta's paid him before to be security. He probably called him and told him to come out to that one time where they were on IG looking for Dolph. And so at the end of the day, man, he is too much connected. If Blac Youngsta didn't just throw him in the mix like that, then CMG wouldn't get taken down or Rico or be looked at as heavy because he threw him in. He threw a street dude in the mix of CMG activity, and then now he went on the run, and he's going to come back and tell on everybody. And so what you got to understand is that they're saying they told him that Big Jook already ratted on him. They're saying, we don't even need a story from you. Big Jook already told us everything and that how you're going to be, we got enough from Big Jook to put you away for 100 years. That's basically what they told him. And so he was like, no, wait. I got some more info and more dirt on Big Jook and Yo Gotti and Blac Youngsta, and Moneybagg Yo. So if he could trade his snitching for the old allegations, then that's what's going to get him out. So he's going to try to basically find a way to get Blac Youngsta and them and tell him where he's at. He's probably going to tell him where Blac Youngsta's been hiding at and their entire involvement. And the meeting that they had basically at Yo Gotti's mom restaurant and everything that happened at the Ruth Chris. Like he even knows he was there in the car with them when they ran back into that white Benz and then they went and dumped it off somewhere on Bradley Street. So he knows exactly what happened on Bradley Street. He knows exactly what happened at the Ruth Chris. He knows exactly what happened at the Makita's Cookies. And so he knows the entire Young Dolph story. He knows the entire events that had a play that day. And even what they were plotting, what they did after, where Blac Youngsta was, where Yo Gotti was, where Moneybagg Yo was. So he has all these details because he was there when they were planning and plotting the whole entire thing. And basically, he listened to everything. And so when the plan went down and it went left and he had to take off on the run, they were like, man, I hope they never catch him because Shundale is the one that knows exactly the full story. Now, what Big Jook was saying, Big Jook was just trying to get himself, his name and get cleared, But the thing is that Shundale's about to expose the whole entire thing on what happened with CMG and the connection that they had. What happened at that meeting? Like who exactly was there and who paid them off to get the whip? Like whose whip was it too? Because they were saying that it's Blac Youngsta's whip. And so when they asked Shundale all these questions, he's got all the answers. So they're going to basically figure out way more details. And there's going to be a lot more people getting swooped up. You never know. They might end up capturing Blac Youngsta. They might end up capturing Yo Gotti. You never know, man. And at the end of the day, you just got to basically look at all the facts and realize that what's going on is basically coming down to swindling down to an end for CMG when you really think about it, because now they got Yo Gotti's brother going against him. You got Shundale going against Blac Youngsta. They really set this chess piece up so they could checkmate Blac Youngsta and Yo Gotti. And the whole entire time, Moneybagg Yo trying to run away from the situation, but he forgot his Bentley was right there in front of the Makita's Cookies when Dolph was down. You cannot get away from that. There's no way that they can undo or erase the fact that Moneybagg Yo's Bentley was right there. And somebody had to be driving in it. It wasn't no self-driving car. It wasn't an empty car. It was moving on the street. So that means it's got to have been Moneybag Yo, Yo Gotti, Blac Youngsta, and Big Jook all in that whip, man. Because if they weren't 4 or 5 deep in there, then they would have took a smaller car. You see what I'm saying? They would have took something, not a truck, but more of a sedan. But then you got to remember, I'm sure all of them wanted to confirm to make sure that everything went like the way it was supposed to. And so that's why they all loaded up into the Bentley, turned it on, had Moneybag Yo driving allegedly with his Bluetooth ping playing his music, and then they hit way down airways and they act like they're going towards the airport, but they pass by Makita's right when they walkie-talkie to the dudes, and the dudes say that it just went down. They were running back to the car. Like, they heard the whole commotion. They were just right there around the corner waiting to hear the commotion so they could turn the corner and see everything that happened. So that's what's going on. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment down below. Let me know where y'all from and who you a fan of. And I'm going to catch you on the next one.